I don't think you get it. Captain Marvel absolutely cannot fail. And I don't mean that to say people, it's going to make a ton of money. It probably will make a decent amount of money. I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp made money, and a lot of people thought that wouldn't work. And I even have another article from a little while ago where people thought Thor wouldn't work. What I mean to say when it can't fail is that the media is going to do everything in its power to make sure both narratives exist, that it's the best movie ever, and that it's being attacked by misogynists, so that no matter what happens, it's not Captain Marvel's fault. So here we have an article from CBR. Captain Marvel's opening could surpass Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. They're saying right now it is number 3 in terms of pre-sale tickets. Then we have this one. Captain Marvel, trolls planning to review bomb movie upon release. And then we have an actual normal breakdown from Cinema Blend over what they think is going to actually happen. And they think it's going to get, I guess they're saying an 80% fresh. I'm assuming. We'll read through this. The point I'm trying to make, and we'll read through some of these, is that you have two narratives emerging right now. Captain Marvel is going to smash records, it's going to be fantastic, and the trolls are going to make sure it doesn't work. That way, no matter what happens, if the movie doesn't do well, they're going to say, see, we warned you, we told you this was going to happen. The trolls have been attacking this movie, and they're the reason why it didn't do bad. They will not accept failure. So let's read this. I also have this. This is from Quora. Why everyone is saying that Captain Marvel is set up to fail. It's actually from a little while ago. It's from September. And this guy here, I mean, this is just, I guess it says Marvel Zombie. I don't know what that means. But he's got a good breakdown of why people think Captain Marvel will fail. And he's betting on it succeeding. So let's say this first and foremost. Captain Marvel is going to come out, I think it's Friday. And there's going to be Thursday previews. Look, Marvel movies do well. They do. I mean, they haven't had a flop. It's possible this movie is their first. I really doubt it. But the issue I want to bring up is the media narrative to protect their left-wing identitarianism. Because you didn't see this kind of massive pushback against Black Panther, there were some people who were dragging Black Panther for sure, but not really. It wasn't that big, although the narrative existed. No, most people were kind of like, I was excited for the movie. I was like, yeah, this is going to be fun. I'll go see it. And I like the movie. So let's see what they say. Updated numbers indicate that Captain Marvel is likely to hit domestic opening weekend numbers around 150 million, a number far higher than previous estimates of 100 to 120 million. What you mean it went down because it was at 180 before, showing steadily rising interest in the film. These projections predominantly come from figures taken from a variety of places, including advanced ticket sales. They're saying it could do better than Guardians of the Galaxy. We get it. Now, here's the thing. This narrative they're pushing. Oh, the trolls. The trolls are going to review bomb it, are they? How do they know that? Well, they have excellent sources, because we know that journalism is one of the greatest and most important professions, and all journalists, everywhere, all the time, do an excellent job of maintaining ethical standards. We know that their sources are surely sound, and that their announcement that trolls are going to review bomb this movie must be coming from a credible source who is organizing these trolls to engage in this behavior, right? Internet trolls seem to be planning a review bombing campaign against Captain Marvel for when the movie releases. And how do they know? A Twitter user, to whom we're not linking, posted an image of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, calling for those who disagree with the movie's identity politics to review bomb it upon release. Although the hashtag on the poster is getting shared, the post has fewer likes and retweets than comments, which mostly slam the user. Thank you for this profound headline, CBR, pushing this narrative off of one random Twitter user that got dragged on Twitter, that people weren't actually sharing or retweeting his comments. So let's make this very clear. As many of you probably expected, the media, in its desperate attempt to guarantee that there is going to be a pre-apology shield, so if the movie does bad and people don't like it, they're going to go, oh, but we told you. We warned you, didn't we? We warned you about a random person on Twitter who got fewer likes and retweets than the people who slammed him. Still, this new campaign, oh, it hurts my brain. New campaign? What are you talking about? One person on Twitter is a campaign? The new campaign likely won't come as a surprise to those who have been keeping up with the drama surrounding Captain Marvel. The want to see section of Captain Marvel on Rotten Tomatoes hit a Marvel Cinematic Universe low following comments made by Brie Larson calling for a more inclusive press. That's not what she said. She said she didn't want her press tour to be overwhelmingly white and male, which was a negative, not even the most negative, but it was a negative connotation. It was like a negative way to frame it. She later clarified those remarks saying, "What I'm looking for is to bring more seats up to the table. No one is getting their chair taken away." Rotten Tomatoes soon removed the want to see score, which we know. How exactly that backlash will translate to the movie's Rotten Tomatoes audience score on release remains to be seen. Captain Marvel is currently tracking for an immensely strong box office opening of approximately $150 million. The movie is also expected to have one of the strongest for a movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in China. Now, let me make this clear, right? This guy, he says, we've got only one wide release coming on it this week, but it's a huge one. The much anticipated new MCU entry, Captain Marvel, hits the big screen, and several of us here at Cinema Blend couldn't be more pumped for some intergalactic hero worship. It's weird. There's a few weird things that I want to point out. All right. First, why are they announcing that Captain Marvel is the most powerful superhero in the MCU before she's even had her debut? Like, you don't need to do that. And that's really weird. They're releasing it on International Women's Day. There's a GoFundMe to get little girls to see it. They're doing this big feminist push. All the marketing is hardcore feminism. And it's kind of like, yeah, dude, that's fine if you want to be a feminist. You're not marketing the movie to me, though, right? I don't care about that. I don't go see movies, sit around eating popcorn with my friends because I want to have a depiction of like a great feminist champion. Wonder Woman was not that. Wonder Woman was a fun and entertaining movie. So it's weird. It's weird how everyone's acting like this is such a big deal. I also want to point out, man, this conspiracy theory won't die, where everyone's freaking out saying that the only movie being shown in theaters this weekend is going to be Captain Marvel. And I'm like, there's just no reason to believe that. Just because it's the only wide release doesn't mean they're gonna stop showing every other movie, right? Okay, it's probably just a pre-sale, and they're not gonna do pre-sales. There's no movies being released, so they're not pre-selling other movies, right? I'm assuming no other movies are being released. But the point is, when you do a pre-sale, you announce it, you post it on your site. It doesn't mean we're getting rid of all the other movies. So this is what he thinks. We are perhaps reaching critical mass in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Avengers Endgame now less than 2 months away, if critical mass is even possible. But before that goes down, moviegoers need to step into the past to get caught up on that mysterious, but not really, call that Nick Fury put out on the dated pager at the end of Infinity War. Captain Marvel goes back 2 decades to introduce audiences to Carol Danvers, one of the many iterations of the superheroine in Marvel Comics canon, played by Brie Larson, we get it. So, and then he goes on to recap stuff. All right, let's see what he says. Early reactions do seem overwhelmingly positive. It looks like a fun movie, the kind that Marvel has become known for in the singled out hero movies that fill out the larger universe. With the bar already set to so high across the rest of the franchise, it looks like this one can and will live up to the hype, with directors and co-writers Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck at the helm. I like this. You know why? Because it seems like this dude is out of the muck. He doesn't care about the culture war. He's just like, we're looking at some reviews, and it looks like it'll be okay. And he's not really getting into the nitty-gritty culture war nonsense like some of these other outlets are. But why do people think this movie would fail? I don't think this movie will fail. I think the movie is going to do really, really well. The Last Jedi made a ton of money. I'm not going to go see any other Star Wars movies probably ever again because of how awful that movie was. But I think Captain Marvel will probably be a fine film. I think it'll fall between I think it'll hit like a 7 out of 10 in most fair ratings because Marvel is really good at what they do. Period. For me personally, I'm sitting it out not because of the MCU, but because of Ghostbusters and The Last Jedi and some other films where I feel taken advantage of. So if you're doing these marketing pushes that I've seen in the past, I'm going to wait, right? I might wait until after opening weekend to go see it. I just want to wait for the reviews. I am not overly angry at Brie Larson and Captain Marvel's production team or the people who are putting the movie together. I have no issue with them whatsoever. You want to do this marketing? That's great. I hope it works out for you. It's not for me. And because of past experiences, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And with Captain Marvel, I'm not going to get fooled again. So I'm going to wait this time. It's the same thing with video games. I don't do pre-orders anymore. I've done so many pre-orders and they always lie at E3, so I am done. That's why I didn't buy Anthem, and I'm glad I didn't, because now it comes out and everyone says it's bad. But I don't want to go too long, so let's read through this. Why is everyone saying that Captain Marvel is set up to fail? And this guy, Michael McTeague, says Marvel has had a very strong, unprecedented, really track record of success. It's hard to imagine any film, even one about a C-lister like Carol Danvers, failing at this point after Guardians of the Galaxy and freaking Ant-Man proving to be hits. Seriously, I was surprised Ant-Man, but Paul Rudd's fantastic, so. There are always naysayers. I remember people saying Thor would be their first flop, then Guardians would fail, then Ant-Man, and then Black Panther and so on. And that's true. I remember people saying, like, Guardians of the Galaxy? Who's going to go see that? Like, no one knows what that is. You know, Spider-Man, we know what Spider-Man is. Iron Man, we know Iron Man. There's a song about him. But Guardians of the Galaxy? I'd never heard of it. And I think it's a fantastic film. So he goes for these reasons. Carol Danvers, simply put, is a boring as hell character. Her biggest character-defining moment is being in a coma while Rogue was running around with her powers. Well, that was Miss Marvel, but sure. This is the old version. In fact, her first cartoon appearance was in Comatose in an X-Men episode. Her next biggest character-defining moment is being raped and then living with a rapist. Jesus Christ. A moment Marvel basically tries to pretend never happened. She's also Hal Jordan with boobs, a high-concept cosmic character with the personality of skim milk. I don't hate her by any stretch. In fact, if I hated her, that would be a compliment. I'm not saying she can't be great, as many Marvel movies have taken liberties with characterization to make characters more palatable, starting with Robert Downey Jr.'s more sardonic and sarcastic take on Tony Stark. But the fact is, a literal translation of her comic character would likely leave you so bored you'd rather watch Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. I did not mind Green Lantern, by the way. You eat those words. The teaser was really, really underwhelming. It was reminiscent of Green Lantern, yeah, seriously, and really didn't show much in regards to the plot. It is, however, just a teaser. I don't think it deserves the crap it's been getting because it's only meant to be a basic primer for the character. Marvel has a bad habit of showing ending scenes in their trailers, so perhaps due to the importance of this character to Avengers 4, they're trying to avoid exposing too much too soon. There's also a third reason I left off the list, and that is superhero fatigue. I'm not going to read on because we're going a little long. I'm going to wrap it up here, but he brings up some really good points. Captain Marvel has been like retconned and reinvented over and over again, and while Ant-Man certainly was like by no means a particularly popular character outside of the comic book fandom, he did well. And that's why I think Captain Marvel can do well, will likely do well, just because Marvel movies are fun and they're well produced. But I'm going to say this. In some of the reviews people have given, they've said it's different. They said, oh, it's really different. And you know what different means? It means it's not going to follow a successful path. It's going to subvert your expectations like The Last Jedi did. And when I heard that, I said, I'm out. All right. So it's coming up this weekend. I'm going to look forward to seeing how it does. Hey, look, Marvel. I love Marvel. I hope it does well. I hope it's a good movie because I want to see it. I'm concerned that if I go see it opening weekend, I'm going to be dumping money in a movie that's going to leave me really upset, like The Last Jedi did. And I don't mean like I hate The Last Jedi. No one should ever like it. No, I mean like I was sitting in that theater like I want to leave, and my friends don't want to leave. So like, what do? I do not want to be in that situation. Ghostbusters was like that. The Last Jedi was like that. And now because they're following that path, Captain Marvel, not for me. So anyway, stick around. I got another video coming up on my main channel, youtube.com/Timcast. Yes, it's a different channel. This is Timcast News. People keep asking about this. I will see you in a few minutes. I mean, we'll see you in a few hours? Whatever.